Have you ever stopped to wonder if the choices you make every day are truly your own? Think about the last time you made a decision. Was it really you deciding, or were you nudged in a certain direction without even realizing it? We like to believe we're in full control of our lives, but the reality is that subtle, often invisible forces are constantly guiding us. These influences are everywhere, shaping our thoughts and actions in ways we rarely notice. From the brand of coffee you pick up in the morning to the major life paths you consider, like your career, relationships, or where you live, unseen influences are at work, quietly steering your decisions. Sometimes, it's as simple as a product placement. Other times, it's the expectations of those around you. Manipulators are everywhere. Advertisers, colleagues, even friends, using psychological tricks to sway your choices. They know how to push your buttons, often without you even noticing. They exploit our trust, our desire to fit in, and our emotional triggers. Whether it's a friend pressuring you to join in, or a company using clever marketing, they know how to make you act in their favor. The first step to protecting yourself is awareness. When you start to notice these influences, you can begin to question them and make more conscious choices. Manipulation thrives when we're on autopilot, just going through the motions. It's in these moments of distraction or routine that we're most vulnerable to being influenced. But once you start to see the tricks and tactics for what they are, they begin to lose their power over you. Awareness is like turning on a light in a dark room. You can finally see what's really happening. In this guide, we'll reveal the most common mind games and manipulation techniques used against you, so you can spot them in your daily life. You'll learn how to recognize when someone is trying to influence you, and what you can do about it. The goal isn't to make you paranoid or suspicious of everyone, but to empower you. When you understand how manipulation works, you can protect yourself and make choices that truly reflect your own values and desires. When you recognize manipulation, you gain the power to pause, question, and reclaim your decisions. You become the true author of your own story, rather than a character in someone else's script. So, let's begin this journey together. It's time to take back your mind, make conscious choices, and live life on your own terms. Manipulation is a subtle form of social influence, where someone tries to shape your thoughts, feelings, or actions through indirect and often deceptive tactics. Unlike honest communication, manipulation hides its true intentions, making it difficult to spot in the moment. It can happen anywhere, at work, among friends, or even within families, often slipping under our radar. Unlike open persuasion, which is direct and transparent, manipulation works behind the scenes. It exploits our mental shortcuts, like our instinct to trust authority figures, our tendency to follow the crowd, or our desire to avoid conflict. These shortcuts, while useful, can make us vulnerable to subtle influence. Manipulators are skilled at identifying which psychological strings to pull. They might use guilt to make you feel responsible for their happiness, fear to pressure you into quick decisions, or your need to belong to sway your choices. These emotional levers are powerful, and often, we don't even realize they're being used on us. The most skilled manipulators are experts at making you believe you're acting of your own free will. In reality, they're quietly steering your decisions, shaping your perceptions, and guiding your actions, all while you feel in control. Manipulation often comes disguised as friendly advice, helpful suggestions, or urgent opportunities that seem too good to pass up. It can feel supportive or exciting, but beneath the surface, someone else may be pulling the strings for their own benefit. Most of the time, we don't notice manipulation until it's too late, after we've agreed to something we didn't want, or made a choice that doesn't feel right. The realization often comes with surprise, regret, or even a sense of betrayal. These tactics aren't new. Manipulation is universal, and its methods have been refined and passed down for centuries, adapting to every era and culture. From ancient marketplaces to modern boardrooms, the hidden strings of influence remain the same. The good news is that because these tactics are predictable, you can learn to spot and counter them. By becoming more aware of the signs, you can protect yourself and make choices that truly reflect your own values and interests. By understanding the 5 most common mind tricks used by manipulators, you can build a mental firewall. This knowledge empowers you to pause, reflect, and respond thoughtfully, rather than react impulsively. It's time to recognize those hidden strings, cut them, and take back control of your decisions and your life. Awareness is your first step toward true freedom. Emotional hijacking is a manipulator's favorite tool. By triggering strong emotions, fear, guilt, excitement, they bypass your logic and push you into impulsive decisions. For example, a salesperson might guilt you into buying a toy for your child, or a colleague flatters you into doing their work. When emotions run high, critical thinking drops. The defense? Notice when your emotions spike. Pause, breathe, and ask, if I set aside my feelings, what's the logical choice? This simple question breaks the spell and puts you back in control. Don't let your feelings make decisions for you. Let your mind lead. As humans, we're naturally wired to follow the crowd and trust those who appear to be in charge. It's a survival instinct. When we see a group moving in one direction, or someone who seems to know what they're doing, our brains tell us it's probably the safest bet. This tendency is deeply rooted in our psychology, helping us fit in and avoid danger. Manipulators know this, and they exploit it with what's called the social proof trap. If everyone's doing something, it must be the right thing to do, right? That's why you see bestseller labels on books, products with thousands of glowing online reviews, or influencers raving about the latest trend. These signals are designed to make you feel like you're missing out if you don't join in. But here's the catch. These cues often create a false sense of safety and belonging. Just because a crowd agrees, or a product is popular, doesn't mean it's actually good or right for you. Sometimes the crowd is simply following the crowd. Similarly, false authority figures use impressive titles, official-looking uniforms, or even just a confident tone to gain your trust. They might not have any real expertise, but they know how to look the part. They'll throw around technical jargon, wear a lab coat, or speak with authority hoping you won't question their credentials. It's all about creating the illusion of expertise, even when there's none. Think about those commercials where an actor in a lab coat tries to sell you toothpaste. It's a classic manipulation, using the appearance of authority to influence your choices, even though the expert is just pretending. Outsmart these tactics by pausing to question both the crowd and the so-called expert. Are those reviews genuine, or are they paid for or fake? Does the authority figure actually have the knowledge they claim, or are they just playing a role? Don't accept things at face value. Dig deeper. Take the time to research, compare sources, and look for real evidence. By asking critical questions and seeking out the truth, you become an independent thinker. You're no longer just following the herd or being swayed by someone in a costume. You're making choices that are right for you. Remember, you have the power to decide for yourself. Don't let the crowd, or a costume, make your choices. Trust your own judgment, and you'll avoid falling into these common traps. Ever rushed to buy something because it was almost gone? That's the scarcity squeeze. Manipulators create fake urgency to trigger your fear of missing out, pushing you to act fast and skip careful thought. Another trick is black and white framing, presenting only two options, one good and one terrible, to box you in. For example, work late or let the team down. They hide all other possibilities. Defend yourself by questioning urgency. Is it real or manufactured? And when given only two choices, ask, what other options exist? Refuse to be rushed or cornered. Open up the conversation and reclaim your freedom to choose. Don't let artificial pressure dictate your actions. Now that you know the tricks, it's time to build your defense. The best strategy? Slow down. Manipulators want you to act fast and emotional. Your power is in pausing. When pressured, say, "Let me think about it." This simple phrase gives you control. If someone resists your pause, that's a red flag. Trust your gut. Unease is often your first warning. Ask yourself, why do I feel pressured? What does this person gain if I say yes? Healthy skepticism isn't cynicism, it's self-protection. Question motives, check credentials, and don't be afraid to walk away. Your mind is your own. Guard it fiercely. Make conscious choices, not reactive ones. Protecting your mind from manipulation is an ongoing practice. Every time you pause, question, or challenge a false choice, you strengthen your independence. As you get better at spotting manipulation, help others do the same. Gently point out mind tricks to friends and family. Share what you've learned. Awareness weakens manipulation's power. Imagine a world where decisions are made with clarity, not fear. By educating yourself and others, you build a more honest community. Be the person who champions conscious decision-making. Empower yourself and those around you. Your journey to mental freedom starts now.